It's that the typical private school taking these dollars is not kind of the elite academy of Hollywood, of marketing, of movies, of storybooks. It's what I call a subprime provider. They're often pop-up schools. They jump into the market when taxpayers start flooding the zone with dollars to subsidize them. If they aren't pop-up schools and they've been around for a while, they're financially distressed anyway. They're often under-enrolled. They're under-enrolled for a reason. They're not any good. And the results show this. And so one of the things that I worry the most about all of this stuff, as much as we're talking about budgets, as much as we're talking about public school dollars, we're also talking about children and children's lives and children's futures. I've called education vouchers the education equivalent of predatory lending. And the reason that I've called vouchers the education equivalent of predatory lending, because all of you probably know, I see a lot of heads nodding, all of you know the marketing behind this: opportunity, hope, freedom, right? And there are folks out there who have had genuine struggles with public schools, either because those public schools are under-resourced or because public schools are human institutions and reflect social inequities and don't always get the promise that they're held to right. The thing that we need to know, though, from the policy perspective is that the vouchers are a solution to none of these things, and that the record is very, very clear. The bigger the worse, the bigger and more recent the voucher system, the worse the results for kids. Another way of saying that is, even though we don't have data on New Hampshire voucher kids right now, by the way, I was around for this 10 years ago. This is all by design. They tried to avoid more headlines like the ones that I just described to you about those other states. But it's as good as it's gonna get as far as those kids today. Even though we don't know, we have good, strong research to show what is probably happening to those kids right now. And the bigger and the more recent the system, the worse it is, especially for those at-risk and vulnerable kids, because they're the ones that are not going to get served. They're not going to get into those schools. Those voucher schools are not allowing parents to choose. The voucher schools are doing the choosing, and the results are showing that the results of those choices are devastating, particularly for vulnerable families.